Plaintiffs Joy Walker and her husband Eric say Eric had some problems in the past, but he turned his life around, and Joy keeps him on the straight and narrow. Joy claims they gave the defendant a security deposit for a rental unit, but they never got into the unit, so they want their money back. Defendant Kenneth Langenberger says he's been a landlord for over 35 years, and Eric's mother is one of his best tenants. Kenneth insists the plaintiffs dragged their feet when it came to the unit, so he doesn't owe them anything.
Start with you.
First of all, it's an honor and a privilege to meet you, Judge Mathis. Second, I'm just same as you. Had a few problems in my life, got my life turned around last 10, 13 years. Been married to my wife here, and right now it's just a major struggle for me to try to keep things doing it the right way. And with her and looking at your outcome in life, I figured that this would be the best way to do things. And this guy's
as opposed
really
to doing something different.
And I'm the cheerleader through all of this,
Right.
trying to talk him out of going back into that lifestyle.
Right, trying to do something stupid. So I figured we'd come talk to the judge and see how we go.
Good. You say you were in trouble with the law, I assume. You
Yeah, weapons charge. Yeah, weapons charges in '97, and just once I got out of prison, I went into a vocational.
How long were you in prison?
3 years.
For how many weapons?
1.
You said weapons. And you were carrying a gun?
No. Some guys had broke into my house in '97, and I had a short barrel shotgun basically in my home. And according to Minnesota, it has to be a certain length. Okay. The way I bought it was too short.
And
so
you received 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's what city and state?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. I guess that was in recent years when so many murders were occurring. Back in my day, weren't that many murders occurring. So that's probably why, because I was arrested on a weapons charge. That's
really?
what I was arrested for. And stayed in jail for 9 months awaiting trial. My mother wouldn't bail me out. And so when I went before the judge, he gave me time served plus probation and ordered me to get a GED. That's why it's interesting, the two scenarios. You get 3 years in the penitentiary, pretty much ruin your life. In Detroit in '77, I get 9 months and probation.
Right. Well, it didn't ruin my life. It woke me up more than anything.
Okay, good.
So it didn't ruin
Glad
my
you looked
life.
at it like that.
Yeah.
Just testing it. Just testing it. Good to hear that. So you're on the right track then. All right. Let me hear from you, sir. You want to give me some background?
It's a pleasure to meet you. Apparently you're a boxing fan. I seen you on TV.
The Mayweather fight?
Could kind of recognize you a little bit. You weren't wearing the robe, but I figured out who you were. Background. At 17, I graduated high school. Started working construction right out of high school. Bought my first duplex at 19. I've had properties now for 35 plus years. I'm a very good landlord in a tougher location where my rental properties are.
How many units?
I have 11 units that Eric's mother lives in, and she's been with me for 9 years. And then a couple duplexes, and then my single family home. And all of them are located in the same very, very close vicinity of one another. I keep my tenants. I treat them very fairly. I'm a very good
Landlord?
Very good landlord, yes. I show people with respect. I truly, truly respect Eric's mother. She's a wonderful person, and it's too bad this had to come to this. Yes.
That accounts for something. Let me hear why you all are suing the defendant for a security deposit.
Well, we were going to rent an apartment, the duplex, from Kenny. Like he said, he's known my mother-in-law for years, so he knows exactly who Eric is. And I feel like this is a test, testing my husband to try to bring him back into that lifestyle. But that's neither here nor there. Now, we were going to rent an apartment from this guy, from Kenny, the duplex, upstairs duplex. And Kenny wasn't available. Kenny was out of town, kept texting. We never spoken with him, over the phone or anything else. He's always text. I have all the texts and everything here. Kept on telling us to lock it in. The place is beautiful. You really like it. But after the 20th of the month, what are we supposed to do when we're spending $100 a night living in a hotel? I mean, it's hard to save money. And
I don't understand what you're telling me happened.
He wasn't available to rent us the apartment. We gave him the deposit. We gave it to his caretaker.
You gave him a deposit for $850 when?
The first deposit was on 8/1. The second deposit was on 8/6, 8/12.
And you all have a lease?
No.
What was the agreement to be, a month to month or at least?
We haven't even seen a lease.
No, when you
We
discussed
haven't even seen the
it.
property.
When you discussed it.
All we discussed was that I was supposed to fill out a rental application. Once I filled out the rental application, I dropped it back in his mailbox like he asked me to. What I was trying to do was, because he kept telling me, lock it in, I need money now. You know what I'm saying, how much cash do you have? In which I have all this here in text messages. So my thing was, instead of letting somebody else get the place, you know what I'm saying, I gave him the money.
All right, let me see it, because what you're saying is that he thought someone else might want the property.
Absolutely.
And when did you all first fill out your application? Do you recall?
That was actually the 22nd of the month, and we,
Of August?
just to be sure.
July 26th.
It was the 26th, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
July 26th. You filled out an application.
Gave him check stubs, copies of our IDs.
And did he ever accept your application?
I dropped it in his mailbox.
No. Accept it as in say you approved.
No.
No.
We never got around to that part.
You gave him money without being approved as a tenant?
Absolutely.
Yes. Sir?
Your Honor, I approved it. He let me know about
How did you approve it?
They qualified with their incomes coming in. I knew about his history a little bit, and with the two incomes, they qualified
What
for
was
moving
your manner of approval? How did they know? Because it sounds like you didn't tell them. Sounds like they didn't know, because you're telling me everything other than I let them know it was approved.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, through conversation with them, text message, Viva text message.
You said?
I told them I accepted them to move in.
That's what I need.
And they were going to move in by August 1st, excuse me, and I needed him to secure it and lock it in.
It should be on the paperwork that you have, on the loan version.
On the loan, it should have something that says, it would say I accept it, you're saying.
Yes.
I dropped the information, this is your box yesterday. Thank you once again. I need money down to hold it in good faith. Eric, the place looks great. You're going to love it, guys. And ready for August rent. I need $35 for application fee charge. Plus the security damage deposit is $850. So you guys only have a balance of the rent for August. I need that money tomorrow. Thank you, Eric. Then how much cash you have? I want something down. It's a biz. Have your wife write a check. You work, she works, lock it in. Job done. Right, thank you. I'm willing to work with you. Step it up. Defendant, $400 today, Eric. Lock it in and I'll work with you for the rest. When you acknowledged that there was going to be rent paid in August, you knew at that time you had been accepted. Why didn't you move in? I guess that's the best question.
Well, one, the place wasn't ready. The carpet was still wet.
Okay.
For 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. So then after that, I'm constantly trying to...
Absolutely not.
Sir. Before you gave your $850, you didn't see the place?
No.
Why?
And I didn't
Why
give
would you
it.
give
I was in
somebody
the
your
hospital,
money
Your
without
Honor.
seeing? You don't give anybody your money without seeing something. That's like buying a car without driving or without looking at the car. You see a picture of it and you just send the money in. It doesn't have an engine.
You're absolutely right, but due to the fact that he has, like he said, an extensive relationship...
Your mother could vouch for
with my
him.
mother. I gave him the $450.
Trusting.
Exactly, because he was saying that lock it in, hold the place. She went into the hospital. So what I did was, we have separate accounts. So what I did was I took the money out of my account. When I was able to access her account, I gave him the other $50.
So back up. Why did you all determine not to move in?
Because of all the rigmarole I was going through.
Tell me.
Too much.
First it was take the paperwork from the county to Skip, which is his caretaker of the particular building I was going to move in, I believe.
Well, how does the county come into play?
Because I was going to have them pay the other $850.
It's called emergency assistance.
Yeah.
The county gives you money they pay either one, either the deposit or the first month's rent.
Okay, and that's what I missed. You all didn't tell me that.
On receipt that we paid what we had to pay, they'll pay the other
All
amount.
right, so you all were part of a county assistance program with
Yeah.
this rental. That's what I'm missing.
I told him about this years.
All
when I
right,
was in
so
the
you
hospital.
give him $850, and you say, okay, the county assistance program will come in with $850.
Exactly.
So give us time for that. What happens?
He didn't
Then
know
he
about the
says,
state.
go give it to so-and-so.
Right.
You go to so-and-so.
And so-and-so is telling, Skip is his name, is telling me, well, I'm not authorized to take the money. I'm not authorized to do this.
So what'd you do then?
I text him. I called him back. He never called me back. He texted me back telling me it's a bad reception. He's still out of town, et cetera, et cetera.
When you're trying to give him his money?
Exactly. Here we go right here. So here we go. Just gave Skip $400. Thank you very much. Don't worry about the other money. I guarantee you for the rest. And his, I thought you was going to work with me with the other $400. I explained I can get the $8 from the county and pay you the rest on the 9th. And then here's the plus. Just get the money ready. Talk to Skip. I'm out of town. Terrible reception area. Get Skip the paperwork. Have it filled out the best you can. I do need all monies before I give you the keys. Then I go back to Skip. Skip is saying I got to get in touch with Kenny. Kenny's not getting in touch with Skip.
So ultimately what happens? You say, well, forget it. I don't want the property
Exactly.
now.
Nobody got in touch with Kenny.
Exactly. So after
Let me see that
The
text
state
you were
got a
reading
hold of
from.
me.
After
You say, just give me my money back. Y'all
Exactly.
playing games.
After all
this
this-
has gone all this time.
Exactly.
I want my
20th.
money back.
And
That's
then
essentially
once
what you're saying?
yes, sir. And
all
then
right,
once
sir,
I
let me
text
hear
him-
your side.
Your Honor, I did have problems with communication with these guys. I was out in Sturgis, poor reception, absolutely. I could pick up text messages, but I was riding motorcycle, having my vacation right at the time that we were dealing with this property. I did ask Skip to collect his money so we could lock this in so we can get them moved in sooner for August 1st. He chose to go and try to get the state to help them with their finances and stuff. If he would have had the money right up front, he would have been in August 1st. The property was ready for August 1st rent. I told him that straight
Your
up.
Honor?
There were communication problems, though. Everything here indicates they were trying to get the money to Skip. And when they were appealing to you about the money, you said, get with Skip, get with Skip. And as you say right now, you were out of town and there were communication problems. Let me read the most important and relevant text here. They say, we are going through too much dealing with you, so we have decided not to. Now my wife called you to retrieve my money. I would appreciate, talking very nice and calmly, if you can have my money available after work to end all dealings.
Yes, sir.
Your response is,
Your
no
Honor.
trouble.
On
my end, Eric,
Yes, sir.
you tell them there's no trouble.
And then I have
What happened?
Your Honor, there was trouble because
You said it wasn't, though. You said there's trouble. Now here you said it wasn't. They say give me my money and your answer is no troubles.
Your Honor, they dragged their feet for
I'm talking
14
about this,
almost
sir.
days.
We're talking about this. We're talking about you agreeing to give them their money back. All this other stuff you're talking about, fine, good, sorry, bad thing, horrible, horrible, horrible. But your last word to them was no troubles. Well, so I hope it's still no trouble. $850 for the plaintiffs. You agreed to give them their money back, and so you have to do so. Judgment for the plaintiffs.
I just want my money.
That's it.
That's
And
it.
you should have never played games with me.
Eric,
At least should have ran my background because it's
You played games.
well known
You
that I'm
shouldn't
going to
have
sue
gave me
you.
my money.
I had no reason to play games with you,
Well,
right?
now we don't. You're gonna pay me my money. It's
And
over.
this is over with. All dealings are done.